Oh, yeah, we are rocking today. Today is going to be a really super special day, and I'm going to be telling you about it in just a minute. We're going live in like 30 seconds. I'm going to do 9 o'clock until YouTube cuts me off. We'll see how long that takes. Anyway, my name is Matthew Zupan. For those of you who are jumping on early, and we're going to see what's going on. I'm going to be, anyone who's got questions, I welcome those questions as they're rolling in. I'm going to try and answer those, and we're going to be talking about some digital marketing stuff, and it's going to be great. So if you're a business, any kind of business, it doesn't matter, but a brick and mortar business trying to figure out what to do with your digital marketing, if you are or somebody else, we're going to talk about all of that in just a minute. Boom! It's 9 o'clock and it's time to rock. And my name is Matthew Zupan with Creation Internet Services, creationis.com, bringing to you Area 51 Marketing Conspiracy Exposed. That's right. That's my little mug right there. I got a little story behind that. Might be telling you that today. Who knows? Maybe on the next video. But we are bringing to you Area 51 Marketing Conspiracy Exposed, tips and techniques that the big digital marketing companies don't want you to know about. Hey, do I need this thing? No, actually, it's not even attached. So I'm going to have some fun today. And you know what? This is going to be my new home. This is my new baby right here. Why? Because I've been Facebook slapped. Guess what? And so I am cutting myself off from that other place. That the competitor. I'm going to move all of this up here. And today, not only are we going to be talking about, we're going to be taking a little small chapter from my book, Area 51, Marketing Conspiracy Exposed. This is my new book, my new #1 bestseller. So if you haven't gotten a copy of this, we're going to be talking about some of the techniques in this today. Jump on over to Area 51, marketingconspiracyexposed.com. Get a free copy. I'm giving them away right now. You can go over to Amazon and pay $39.95 for them. But if you go to my website and get your copy from me, it's going to be free. All you pay is shipping and handling. So that's my shameless commercial. I get to do that because this is my show, right? So we're having fun. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about what I call the businessman's journey. Okay, and hold on a second, someone trying to cut in one of those 800 numbers. I don't even care. Now check this out. Okay, so Area 51 Marketing Conspiracy Exposed is just that. We are live inside my Area 51 bunker. And inside the bunker, we've been in lockdown for, I don't know, a couple of months, 2-3 months. Everybody's been there. So have I. But we're going to be showing you some of the techniques and help you understand. The whole point of the show is to bring you tips and techniques, one building block at a time. A building block today that you can take and actually implement today inside your business and start to grow your business. Okay. So earlier on another broadcast, I was talking about different things. But today I'm going to introduce what I call the businessman's journey. Okay, and the businessman's journey is kind of like this. We're just kind of go along, and there's a hill right there, and there's another hill over there, and we've got this obstacle here, and you've got your businessman over here, entrepreneur, businessman, whatever you want to call him, and we're going to put in a little something extra right here, maybe some difficulty. Okay, and every business owner that I know, and I've been studying this for 25 years. I started doing website design almost 25 years ago, and then as digital marketing, we did all the SEO stuff and all the. Man, there were some techniques. It was the Wild West days back when I started. Okay, I'm a pre-Google baby, so even before Google became a thing, I was building websites. And so I learned a lot of things, and some of those things are in my book, and some of the ones that I put in my book are the ones that are time tested and still work today. The techniques for almost 25 years are still working today. The principles are still the same. So here we have our businessman, our business person, our entrepreneur, somebody who wants to be in business, business owner, whatever it is. And there's multiple obstacles along the way. Every business owner has obstacles, because if you don't, I don't know what you're doing. But every business owner has obstacles. However, the first obstacle is this one right here. It's probably the biggest. And this great big obstacle, it might even be taller for some people, is the one thing that will either let you go forward or keep you where you are. Now, the whole world is in difficult times right now, and especially where I'm at here. I don't know about you, but in Oklahoma City, there's a lot of difficulty going on. Small businesses, some of them think they're essential, some of them think they're not essential, and a lot of businesses have to shut down, and some people are waiting, wondering, what the hell am I going to do? Well, you know what? There's a lot of things you can do. But the one thing that's going to keep you from doing anything is this first obstacle. And this first obstacle, I call it the obstacle of the mind. And I know you can't read that, but if you're taking notes, go ahead and write that down. The obstacle of the mind. And that obstacle of the mind is kind of like I was working with a company a couple years ago. And well, some of them sooner than that, but one in particular that comes to my mind is a company that basically said this: this is the way we do it, this is the way we've always done it, and this is the way we're always going to do it. Okay? That obstacle will keep you from moving forward. Now, that's a old traditional way of thinking. And if you don't think outside of that traditional thought, you can never really grow. You can never really expand. You're going to be stuck. You're going to get to a place, you're going to be stuck right where you are, and you're going to be maybe spending a lot of money on advertising the way you did it 20, 30 years ago, trying to get new customers, trying to get more people through the mill, trying to make that one-time sale, that one-time pop, boom, I got a sale. Now I got to go find a new customer to have them come in, and then so they can buy something. Then I got to spend thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to find another new customer to make them come in so that they buy something. But what are we doing after that? Well, we'll get to that. That's another story probably for another day, because I don't want to be out here all day, and I know you're a busy person. So you got to the obstacle of the mind. In traditional thinking, it'll do this. Okay, here's traditional thinking. All right, I'm going to take this gigantic circle right here. I'm going to put a little hole in it. Once upon a time, there was a business owner, and he had this business, and it revolved around this one big black thing. Right now, I'm going to call it the big black thing. We'll find out what it is in just a minute. And he had his whole business revolved around this one big black thing. He had a store on the street. They were in a good location that people would pass by. You know, lots of people would come in. Some of them would look around. Some of them would shop. Some of them would buy. Some of them would just come in, look, and walk back out. So there was a lot of flow. There was a lot of traffic going on. And he thought that would last forever. And he got into a rut. This is the way we do it. This is the way we've done it. This is the way we're always going to do it. One day, a marketing person, someone selling advertising, said, "Hey, you know what? We're an advertising company. We could help you do this and this and this." And he goes, "No, this is the way we do it. We always rely on foot traffic, and then we rely on our customers telling other people, word of mouth advertising. Oh, we only rely on word of mouth advertising." Well, the great part about that business was that they were the only one in a, let's say, a 10-mile radius that did what they did, selling these big round black things. And everyone loved the big round black thing. And the business owner thought it was the greatest thing in the world because it really answered the questions of the soul. It just spoke to the heart. It got deep inside you. And when people used this great big round black thing, it was just, sometimes it was a comfort, sometimes it was a sad thing, sometimes whatever it was. But he felt that he was giving a great big service to everyone who bought the big round black thing. Okay? And then one day, a new person came along. And this guy is the traditional marketer right here. One day, a new person came along. And he sold a small, shiny silver thing. Okay, and that small shiny silver thing. Try and say that pretty quick, right? Was kind of like the big round black thing. And he set up shop just a few blocks down the road, not too far, but he was getting some foot traffic and he was getting some other stuff, but he thought just a little bit differently, just a little bit. He thought, well, there's this new thing coming along and it's called the internet. So I'm going to try and get people to also buy my product on the internet. And he wasn't very good at it, but he got a little bit of business. He got some traffic and he was selling the little shiny silver things. He was competing with the guy that's selling the big round black things, but not directly because it was different. And so not everyone understood the little shiny silver thing. And what happened is he had to spend a little bit more time educating people on this little shiny silver thing, where this guy, everyone knew what this was. So everyone had something that would work, this great big round black thing. The difference was this big round black thing only held 10 things on it. This little round silver thing you could put on 100 things on it. And then it took a big machine, and you guys still have to play it and all kinds of stuff like that. Well, he sold a little bit more, and some of the traffic right here, he's like, well, that old silver thing, that's probably not going to take off. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to just continue doing what I'm doing. Traditional mindset. Remember, this is the thing that's going to keep this guy from going anywhere. Right? He's going, well, you know what? I've had my customers forever. They've been loyal to me. They're always going to stay loyal to me. I don't have to do anything different. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. This is the way I've always done it. This is the way I'm going to do it. He didn't want to change. This guy was kind of new at the game, so he didn't have quite that same mindset. And so he was trying this new thing called the internet, trying to get some business that way, built himself a website, sold some of those things there, got some new foot traffic in the town, in the area. And then one day, a third businessman came in. And the third businessman created something totally different. Whatever, how it's drawn, I don't know. You might be able to recognize it by now. Okay? And this guy still wouldn't change his ways. He goes, nobody's going to want that. He said, oh, wow, there's a new guy down there. And this guy didn't even have a store, but they heard about it. He didn't even have a store. He didn't have anything over here. But he came out one day and he said, you know what? I want to give you everything that you get on that big round black thing, everything that you get on that little shiny silver thing, and I'm going to times it by 10, and I'm going to say, hey, put that in your pocket. Take it with you. It's so small, it's so slim, you just stick it in your pocket, take it with you everywhere you go. And these guys were like, that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to want to do that. That's stupid. Who's going to want to put a little square thing in their pocket? Everybody. Everybody. So let's take a look at this. Okay, back in the day, the record player, the gigantic big round black thing, was the biggest thing ever. Everybody had record players. Everybody played that song. And this business owner was like, yeah, man, that music reaches to people's souls. It does help people. It changes their lives. Sometimes it helps heal, and sometimes it just gets the hurt, but it just reaches into the heart. Well, the person who came up with this, it's not a big improvement, but it was slightly improved. You could get 100 songs on a CD, and you still have to kind of carry a little box with you around. It was a little bit clunky, and it wasn't always that easy, and all kinds of stuff. But you could get 100 songs on that one. And so that one started to sell, but the thing was, not everyone had a machine that could play a CD. So it had to start, somebody had to be selling the CD players as well, because that was a totally new thing. CDs didn't play on record players, and just about everybody had a record player. And this guy said, that will never sell. That Well, he's not really directly competing with me, so I don't have to change the way I'm doing things. My customers are loyal to me forever. Well, what happened? A few years later, when this little tiny square thing came out, this guy went out of business. People stopped buying record players. And the reason is his obstacle in his mind said that I don't need to sell this also. All of a sudden, I'm in a new place where, you know what, he could have added a new product to his store. So he could have been selling this little big round black thing, and he could have been selling CDs, but he decided that this was going to be his thing. He wouldn't change, went out of business. And this guy over here is going, well, I'm not going to sell records because they're going to, you know, everyone's going to be buying CDs pretty soon. And he didn't quite see, even though he had a website and was trying to reach new people and get into new areas, and CDs lasted for quite a while, he didn't want to believe that anyone would buy this little tiny square thing. So did he add that to his store? Did he change his thinking, saying, okay, well, let's offer that as well? Let's, you know, you're in a pandemic right now, and people are going, what do I do to get people into my store? Well, maybe you have to add a new product. Maybe you have to add a new service. Maybe you have to change something in what you're doing in order to survive, so that even later on, hopefully 50 years later, you can start selling retro record players again. Maybe you have to do something different. Now, here's the spot in between here, here, and here. Here's the thing that makes this business owner that's going to go on this journey different. He's got what's called, I call it alternative thinking. Okay, we're going to do hashtag alternative thinking. And it's great having alternative thinking. You know, that's like saying, oh, we got to think outside the box. Okay? Personally, I think thinking outside the box is one of the dumbest phrases I've ever heard in my life. Actually, now there's a few other dumb ones. But thinking outside the box is not a good phrase, because it doesn't follow up with acting outside the box. And the only way any thinking about anything, alternative thinking, is to alternative act. You have to start acting on that thinking in order for anything to happen. Nothing happens unless there's action. Nothing, ever. And you can sit and think all day, right? But that's not going to get you a cup of coffee from the kitchen. So until you get up off your butt, walk around in the living room into your kitchen, you're not going to get a fresh cup of coffee. You're talking about coffee. You know, I'm a coffee lover, and I always got a cup of coffee with me. So that's what's going on. Alternative thinking. This guy's going to start to think alternatively. He's going, what can I do so that my store doesn't die during this time right now, or any time, any economic time? It doesn't matter. And even if there's not bad economic times, there's good economic times. So how can I continue to make my store grow? You have to be thinking differently than everybody else. And then you have to be acting differently. Okay, so we're going to just put that down. Hashtag act. I'm just going to put act. You got to act. Nothing happens without action. Okay, so he starts to think differently. He's going, okay, what can I do? I got to do this. I want to do something different. And that gets him around the barrier of his mind that says, I can't or I won't. If you're not willing to change, you're stuck behind that barrier all the time. If you're not willing to do something different, then wherever you are right now, if you're not in work, if your business is broken right now, it's going to stay broken. Nothing's going to change until you're willing to change. Even if you just have to change something. Like the store down here, one of my favorite coffee shops, they closed. I was like, why? All right, and this was right in the very beginning. And I was like, you know, you could be doing this, you could be doing this, you could be doing that, you could be doing what others are not doing, and do it bigger and do it better. But they decided that they you know, needed to close. But they could have said, you know what? We're going to deliver our food in the morning. We're going to deliver it to you. We're going to stay open. Yeah, they were allowed to stay open if someone walked in, got a cup of coffee, and walked back out. That wasn't enough traffic for them. So they decided to shut down. But they could have been doing something different. And that something different was targeting people within a 5-mile radius, 4-mile, 3-mile, doesn't matter, within a close radius so that they could deliver fresh piping hot coffee with a nice bagel, some cream cheese, or whatever it is, hot sandwiches in the morning, breakfast sandwiches, because they did breakfast stuff. And all of these really nice little things. And I know from where I live right here, there's a bunch of my neighbors that don't want to go out. But I'll guarantee you, if they're anything like me, okay, I don't always want to be doing my own breakfast. I love to cook, and I think I'm a pretty good cook. You know, I've got some pretty good meals, but I get tired of cooking and eating my own food. Sometimes I just want to go out and order something. I want to sit down right there. I want to eat it. What can I do if I don't want to do that? Well, my little coffee shop won't deliver, so I can't order coffee from them. And I have to say, I'm a very particular coffee drinker. I think I'm a connoisseur. However, and I won't drink most coffees. I'll never drink 7-Eleven coffee or On Q or I haven't been to McDonald's in 15 years, so I don't know. It's nasty to me. This makes me sick. So I'm a very particular coffee drinker. And I go to this one shop, and I got invited there to meet some friends for like a little networking meeting. And I tried their Nicaraguan coffee. Whoa. I was like, this is great. So it became one of my favorite places, and it just really became a bummer to me that they closed, right? So if they were open, I would be like calling them up and going, you know what? I can do one of two things. I can either call them up, make an order, and go pick it up, okay? Or I can call them up and say, will you deliver? And man, if you deliver, you're my favorite place forever. That's creating customer loyalty. We're going to get to that in another video, how to create massive customer loyalty. But I'll tell you one thing. Here's a secret. I'm going to let out the bag. If you're not staying, even if you're shut down and you're not staying in touch with your customers that you had prior to this, let alone trying to get new customers to come in, because that's not going to happen. You're not going to do it. But if you're not staying in touch with your customers that you already have, they're going to create new buying habits. And then when this is all over, guess what? They're still buying someplace else. You're going to lose a lot of them. Why? Because that other place satisfied their want, need, or desire. And they are going to, you get into that buying habit. And that's what happens. People get into a buying habit. I used to get into a buying habit at least once a week. I would go down to my favorite coffee shop. That was my buying habit. Well, guess what? That's broken. That buying habit is broken, and now I'm going someplace else. Okay? Or I'm making it myself. I'm just going to do it myself, and I'm just not going to go there anymore. Okay? They've lost me because they hadn't kept in touch. They haven't stayed in the game. So when people create new buying habits, guess what? With the company that in a dire need, in a dire time right now, people are stressed and they're looking for relief for their wants, needs, and desires. And if you're the company that satisfies that, then they're going to be more loyal to you after all of this than the company who just kind of ignored their customers during all of this time. Okay, so they're going to be thinking, wow, this company went above and beyond during this time of stress. What are they going to do when it's just like normal times, man? They're going to just deliver. It's going to be just as good. So that's what they're doing. They created that new buying habit. After 2-3 months, seriously, it's almost 3 months now. 3 months of buying someplace else and getting in the habit of doing that. Okay, that's a little secret right there. So we don't want them to create new buying habits. But we got to get out of this thing in the mind that says I can't. One, I can't or I won't. So if you can't, my mom used to tell me, can't means you don't want to. Basically, I won't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take out the garbage. I'm not going to do this. But this business went out of business because they wouldn't start adding new things to their business. This business went out of business. And they didn't want to change either. They didn't want to change enough. So we get this traditional mindset. And what happens is the only time there's 4 ways you can go here at this, the biggest roadblock of your mind. 1, you can go over, okay? You can go over, kind of like Superman. You can go through, break down the barrier, or you can go around. You can figure out a way, and that's alternative thinking. I'm going to figure out a way to get either over it, through it, or around it. But those who do not do one of those 3 things go under. And we just consider that as a business that's going out of business because they're stuck in a traditional mindset. They don't want to change. They don't want to move on. They want to think, well, my customers were loyal. They're going to stay with me. Well, when the iPod came out and Steve Jobs said, I'm going to put 1,000 songs in your pocket. Boom, right there. Little tiny object, 1,000 songs, 10 times more than anything else. It went exploding everywhere. Everybody wanted one. It was the biggest thing in all of this. And so these companies went out of business because they weren't offering this. Now, if this company had started offering these CDs, then when people stopped buying records, they would still be able to buy CDs. And when the CDs, alternative thinking, okay, well, wow, that's a really cool thing. We need to get some of those and sell those also in our store, just in case, right? Alternative thinking, that's all it takes. And then they act upon it. And so they get a bunch of these iPods and they get those in their store too. Now they're slowly transitioning with the trend of what's going on. Whatever's new is going on. They're transitioning, going, okay, I'm going to keep selling these for a little while. If these things crash, then I don't have to worry about it. I've still got customers that buy these, but now they don't have to buy the CD, and then they don't have to buy a CD player, and then they don't have to buy cars that have 10 rack CDs in the back or the 5 rack CD player and the thing, and cars stopped using them and stopped selling cars that held them, right? All kinds of stuff. And now what happens is everybody just wants this one little thing. See how this one could have transitioned to the next phase and could have transitioned to the 3rd phase and stay in business and get around this obstacle. But he never did. He never went after the new traffic. And now we're going to go up here onto this journey. I get around the obstacle in the mind. Okay? The person who thinks alternatively is able to get around that obstacle. And then now they start on the new journey. Okay, where am I going with this? Where do I go? What am I doing? The journey, part of the journey is to get new business into your business. Right now, I don't care if you already have an online business. You want more business into your business. People are using social media like never before. Never before. Almost 3 billion people actively using Facebook every single month. So where did some people alternatively start to act? They thought differently. Go, man, I better start getting on social media. I better start doing stuff on social media. Well, the first place that they go, they get on social media because they haven't really been doing it. But it's a business that says, you know what? I haven't been doing that. I can see that now. I should have been doing that for the last 10 years at least, but I haven't been doing it. So now I got to catch up. So now he's got this uphill climb, this first obstacle. How do I use it? How do I do it? And what am I doing here? Okay. So they're partially blocked by the traditional mindset. There are some of them that are partially blocked by it. And that block says, okay, I got to create an ad and I got to try and sell something. I got to get somebody in my store. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And that's the first obstacle. And some people, they don't get over that because they don't understand it. And what happens is they get discouraged halfway up that first hill. And I don't know about you, but if you've ever been at the base of a hill, that hill is the only thing you see. If you're close enough to the base, that hill could be a mountain. It's the only thing left that you see. And you don't see the next place to go until you get to the top of that first hill. So, I got to really write a little tiny guy down here, but you wouldn't be able to see it on live TV. All right. So we got that place to go. Where am I going to go? I got to go up this way, and I start to get discouraged because I start to think traditionally. Okay, so everywhere along the way, you're going to end up either falling back, like in a Monopoly game. You pull the card, it says go all the way around the board, go to jail, and you don't get to collect $200, and that's it. You don't get to go past go directly to jail. So you don't get the benefit, you don't get the blessing. And the whole thing is now you're here, you're struggling to get new business, you're not sure how to do it. You get discouraged somewhere along the way, and you can do one of two things. You can either slide back and give up, or you can press on and continually start to think alternatively and continually to act differently. Some people at this point will slide off and give up. It doesn't matter what they're doing because they don't know how to do it. They say, I can't. So here, if you're not willing, you're not going to make it either. Even over on this side, then you get into another obstacle, and then they say, I can't. I don't know how, I can't. So I'm just going to sit and wait. Or I'm lost. And they crash back down, and the same thing happens. Their business goes under. They don't know how to get farther along the path. And everywhere you're going, you're going to have little ups and downs. You're going to have obstacles. And everything that you're doing in this journey is going to be all about it's going to be about these two things: alternative thinking and alternative acting. If you give up on either one of them, then you'll fall down into this place down here where your business will crash and you won't be able to get new customers into your business. And the whole goal of any marketing or being in business is to have new customers continually coming through and getting into your business. Now, in another video, I'm going to be talking about how to keep them in your business and how to grow them with your business. Okay, that's two other things going on right there. The first one is to get them. Second one is to keep them. And the third one will be to grow them. But we're going to get to that in another video. So right now, we're going to stick right here with this concept and this idea in mind. And I want you to stay with me on this tomorrow or my next video. I'm going to be talking about how to get past this first obstacle and how to target what I call your second avatar. And we're going to talk about avatars, okay? Because there's some people that believe that every business needs one avatar. No, I don't believe that. Every business, and I write about this in my book in extensive detail, why you'll not survive with one avatar, okay? And I call it the three avatars. And really there's four. It's kind of like Three Musketeers. But I write about that in my book, the three avatars. The three main avatars every business must have in order to survive, in order to grow and not have to contract during difficult times, or during, like now, economic hardship. And then what do you do when everything is good? Do you just forget your avatars or not? How to do all of those things. So we're going to be diving into these little topics as we go along, and we're going to leave you with this thought. Are you alternatively thinking about what you can do to add, change, and grow? And yeah, think all day, but until you act and then act to add, change, or grow, your business is going to be stuck. And nobody in the world is going to be able to help you. Okay? There's not enough money that can dig you out of a hole that you're not willing to get out of. right? So if you're not willing to get out of the hole, nobody's going to get you out of the hole. And that's just the way it is. That's business. That's, you have to be constantly thinking. A good entrepreneur, real business owner, is going to be changing. He's going to be thinking differently. He's got to be constantly alternative. Okay, this isn't working. What am I going to do that's different? Okay. If this isn't working, what can I do that's different? Okay, now that I could do that. Okay, let's try that. Now you act upon it, and then you move forward. Okay, and there's always going to be, okay, this and that, this and that, and this and that. And so, like I said, I talk about that quite a bit in my book, in Area 51, Marketing Conspiracy Exposed. If you don't have a copy of it right now, now's a great time to jump on over to my website, Area 51, marketingconspiracyexposed.com, and get a free copy, because right now I'm giving away my book to as many business owners as possible, to as many people as possible. Anyone who wants to help grow their business, especially digitally. It's all about digital marketing, different techniques. And we've got some really cool stuff going on here. Discover your 3 pillars of success, and who are your avatars. I talk about who your avatars are here in the book. It's so important for business to understand who your avatars are. I go into great detail on how to produce 50 pieces of content to help you grow. Remember, we talked about that first obstacle is social media. Traditional marketing people who are thinking slightly differently, trying to act differently, are trying to move into that social media realm where they didn't think they needed to. Really, I don't really need that. I can just, advertise in a newspaper. But you know what? Now all of a sudden they're going, man, everybody's doing it. I got to do this. Because just before this whole pandemic thing started, it was 2.4 billion people actively on Facebook every single month. Within the first 30 days, that number jumped 45%. You do the math. Okay, within the first 30 days. That's how many people more were actively getting on Facebook. And I'll guarantee it was a lot of businesses trying to figure out all of a sudden how to use social media to help grow their business. But that's all I have for you today. My name is Mathew Zupan, and if you're watching right now, leave a comment. Let me know. Do you have any questions about anything? Still good morning in my neck of the woods. So if you're there, say hi. Tell me where you're from, anything like that. Be glad to hear from you if you have questions or something you didn't understand, or just some kind of comment saying, oh, wow, that was kind of weird. That was kind of interesting. I don't know. But we're doing all these things. And I'm going to try and get here every single day. Right now, I've been doing a Facebook post every morning at 7 a.m. And I'm going to be transitioning. But if you want other tips, I do different things on Facebook that I'm going to be doing here. And one of the things is in the Facebook at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, okay, is that, Facebook is changing. So what am I doing? It's time for me to start thinking alternatively. I have to start going. I used to do a 1 hour show, a 1 hour broadcast. I don't call it a show, but a 1 hour broadcast on Facebook. Well, now Facebook, I call it Facebook slapped. I got Facebook slapped, and now they will not allow my videos to go longer than 20 minutes. I was like, whoa, what happened here? I'm not even talking about things that they don't like coronavirus and stuff like that. They don't like people talking about that kind of stuff. They'll shut you down quick. But, I'm talking about digital marketing and ways to help people. And then it's like, you know what, we're just going to limit the time. I don't know if they're doing it to anyone else or not, but I don't care. It's time for me to move on. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If they don't want me to get things rolling over there, and I had about 100 people every morning would be coming to my thing, and then they slowly started cutting me off. But time to move on, And I know you can do things on YouTube, so you can do YouTube lives, and guess what? We're here live now. Now YouTube is going to get all these wonderful stories, and we're just going to give those to a new people that are interested in finding out how to grow your business, one building block at a time. This one thing today is all about what you're doing in your mind. What are you thinking? The number one thing that holds a business owner back, or entrepreneur, or anyone who wants to move forward, is your mind. It's not, I don't have enough money for advertising. It's not all these other things. It's the number one thing is what's going on right here. And so that's the nugget I want you to grab a hold of today and be thinking about as you go through your day. What can you do? If you're trying to really grow, if you're serious about wanting to do something new and wanting to move forward, this is the first obstacle. You are, out of my avatars that I talk about, you are the first avatar. Okay? You are the one that you have to identify what's going on in your mind. Am I stuck in my thinking? How can I move on? Okay? Those two things. Otherwise, my name is Mathew Zupan with Area 51 Marketing Conspiracy Exposed, bringing you tips and techniques big digital marketing companies don't want you to know about, or some of them just don't know because they just haven't been around long enough. They don't understand some of the things that are working and work well. And they are, a lot of these things I talk about are in my book. Some of them are just up here between my ears after almost 25 years. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to go over. We're going to have some fun. And I'm looking forward to the next episode of Area 51 Marketing Conspiracy Exposed. That's my second shameless commercial. I get two because this is my show. And I get to do one in the beginning, one at the end. That's it. All right. You have a great Saturday. It's going to be an awesome day. Looks like we might actually get some sunshine here in Oklahoma City. And until the next broadcast, I'll see you. I'm going to try and make it. I'm not going to promise yet every day at 9, but let's see how that goes. We're going to work on it and get here at least almost every day. Maybe not weekends. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Still working on that. And also still trying to figure out this whole new platform because, YouTube, you can end the stream. I know you can share screen. Haven't figured that one out yet because I want to be able to share some screen stuff with you, share some all kinds of cool stuff. But like I said, until next time, have a great day and be blessed.